Average players want to be left alone. Good players want to be coached. Great players seek out feedback without the pushback. So there's some layers there, right? Average players, hey, don't coach me, like I'm fine, I don't want the feedback. Good players, hey, I'll take feedback. Great players, they go out of their way to ask for feedback. I know this is a big topic of yours, getting that feedback is the breakfast of champions. What I'm really eager to learn from you is, Coach, how do you create an environment where the student athletes are those great players, where they're seeking out the feedback? How does that look? How do you create an environment where that's the norm?
Well, I think it starts with their heart. It actually starts from the heart. One of my favorite Bible verses is above all else, guard your heart because everything you do flows from it. So I just find that really interesting. Above all else, guard your heart because everything, it doesn't say some things, it says everything you do flows from it. So therefore, I have the players check their hearts. And this is what I tell them. Dave chose to come to Kentucky, hopefully because they trust the coaching staff. They believe in the environment, the culture, all the things. Okay. Well, if that's the case, then we would never do or say anything that we believe is going to hurt them, right? Like we might get frustrated at times or things like that, but ultimately the goal for us is to help develop them as a student, a person, and a player. Okay. So I basically explain to them like when one of us give you feedback, we're trying to help or hurt. And it's like, help. I'm like, okay, if we understand that and you trust us, okay, and we trust you, or else you wouldn't be in our program, right? Like, help us. And I love the story of the daughter that didn't know what to buy her dad for Christmas. So DJ, she's just sitting there and she's trying to decide, and then she remembers and realizes, like, my dad loves golf. Like, I don't know why I didn't think of this. So she goes to the store and she buys her dad some golf balls. And she wraps them, puts them under the tree. She's super excited because her dad has really gotten into golf and he loves it. So it comes time and they're going around and they're picking the presents underneath the tree. And finally it comes time for her and she sees her present and she walks over and she gives it to her dad. And she's so excited. Well, the dad opens the present and is like, these aren't even the golf balls that I use, and throws the golf balls to the side. And I tell our players, how are you going to receive the feedback that we're giving you? Are you going to be like that dad to where it's just like dismisses it? Or are you going to go, wow, she went out of the way. She knew I played golf. She went to the store. She took the time to wrap them, put this beautiful bow, wrote me this nice card. And like, are you just going to receive it? Like, how are you going to receive the gift of this feedback? Because it's a gift. Like, we're trying to help you. And you know what? Your teammates are trying to help you too. So it is the breakfast of champions, and it's how we grow. And without it, we're never going to reach our full potential. So, like, let's all help each other. You give us feedback, and we give you feedback. But it is the breakfast of champions.
You said you give us feedback, we give you feedback. Is the environment that you create a Kentucky coach? Hey, I want feedback too. I'm a big believer that the coach needs to. I think that at the end of the day, you say this all the time: more is caught than taught. To me, I think coach has got to be the first one to model the behavior that they want to see from their team. I think that's a huge part of it. We can't ask our team to be able to flush it and move on from a bad play if coaches are having a hard time doing it. There's some misalignment there sometimes. So tell me a little bit about that modeling aspect. Is that something where, hey, we're giving you feedback. I also want some feedback. Does it go both ways? What does that look like?
Yeah, you have to practice it. So at the end of every practice or hitting session or whatever, we'll say, a lot of times I'll say, hey, what did you learn? What helped you? What did you notice about some of your teammates? Like, let's just start talking. Like, what went well? And then they'll kind of share some things that they've learned. So it's built on trust. And really, the best version of trust, I believe, is this vulnerability based trust where we make ourselves vulnerable, right?